If you don't feel like you have the time to search up a normal on-turn trading, you can always check out onturnGame.com. We are making trade instant and really secure through hours or through Steam, and we have the trading bots running 24/7, so you can basically trade with the bot whenever you want, and it will accept offers. And this is for lower tier items, so if you've got a lot of $0.03 items, I really recommend checking out onturnGame.com and its trading bot. Link will be first in the description, so enjoy the video. Hello guys, welcome back to another video. And in this video I will be going through how to create your own website and how to code in HTML and CSS and maybe some JavaScript. We'll see. I'm not using like Ionic, or this is just pure vanilla. I'm not gonna use jQuery. I will just use JavaScript, HTML and CSS, and this is the basics that you should have if you're going into web development. So let's get started basically. So in this tutorials we'll be making a website kind of like my website. Of course it won't be exactly the same, but this is my website. I'm currently testing some stuff, and I'm trying to like get something rolling and see how it looks and stuff. So this is my website at the moment. I'll probably make it look a bit better in the future, but I think it looks alright. It has this like click to go further, and it's the easy, there should always be like a small text, and then there should be like a more sign. So I got kind of inspired by that. So today we're gonna create something like that, or this will be split into different episodes. So we're gonna start off by wait, let me actually check one thing. Okay, there we go. It's 1080p. But we are gonna start by talking a bit about what you need and what they are, the different stuff when you're coding a website. So you need, if you're coding a website, you at least, in my opinion, you need to know HTML and CSS. It's the things that's absolutely needed. If you're then going to learn how to use like Ionic and stuff, that's completely up to you. Me personally, I'm kind of trying to learn Ionic, but I think it's really hard. So the thing that you're gonna learn is HTML and CSS, and that's what I'm gonna learn you, and maybe some JavaScript if this gets successful. I'm not really comfortable in JavaScript yet. So when you start, when we create and when we make our website, I will be using the brackets. You can search it up and you can go ahead and download it. I'll leave a link in the description. Otherwise it's this. It's a great software, and it has the live preview, which in my opinion is way better than visual codes. So we're gonna use brackets in this tutorial. So actually, once you've downloaded brackets, we can actually begin with this episode. So to start off, you are gonna go ahead and open up brackets. You will probably not see anything here, and I'm actually gonna wait. Before we do that, or you can actually just have it started. But before we do that, we will actually just create a new folder. So I will go into my desktop here. I go into my desktop and I'll create a new folder. And the folder I'm gonna name HTML tutorial. Of course, you can name this whatever you want. You can name it website. Doesn't really matter. So once you're in here, you're gonna do a new text document, and you're gonna have this set as index.html, and and yeah, you want to change it, but index.html is the most it's the needed thing, or it's not needed, but if you're going into a website, the first thing that you're gonna see is the index, which is the first file that loads. So let's actually do like this. We're gonna go ahead into brackets again, and then we're gonna go here. Wait, do I have two? Okay, and then we're gonna press on like open folder. Don't save. And then we're gonna press on open folder. We're gonna locate the HTML tutorial, and we're gonna click select folder. Just right click here, or like select folder will probably be, and then open the folder. Now you'll see one here, and this is where we're gonna start off. So we can start off by doing exclamation mark doc type. I don't know why you do this, but I always do that. And then you're just gonna follow in the beginning. So HTML, that's just telling that it's an HTML file, and then we will use the head and the body. So you can think of the head more like the brain, I would say. So the brain, and by the way, if yours is not looking the same, I have some plugins installed, which I can also leave linked in the descriptions. So the head, you can think of that like the brain. No one can see the brain, or you can see the brain, but you can't see what's inside the brain. So everything that's inside here, you can't see that, or you're gonna have like the title set here. So you're gonna have the title inside here basically. So we can actually start off by going like a title, and then you set this to my website. It doesn't really matter. And now if you want to check it out how it looks, you can either go inside your folder and open it up, or you can go in here in brackets and press on live preview, which I'm gonna do because it's the best. So here you can see the title got set to my website, but if we then change it to something else, you can see it will change up here as well, and that's what I really like about this program. But I will have this as my website. There we go. And here in the body, here comes kind of like the basics. So we have a P tag, which stands for paragraph. I've got no idea what it stands for, but it's like the basic text. So if you go into a website, let's go into my website, and this is, here is some P text. You see it's small, and you can use a lot of it. So maybe let's see if we can find some real lot. These are also like P text. I'll just call it P text. I know that it isn't P text. P text. I don't think it's called that, but I'm gonna call it P text. So here you can have like whatever. You can type whatever, and you will see what it looks like here. And then we also have the H1 tag, and the H1 stands for header. So if you want to create a header, you can do by going H1, and if you want to make it smaller, you can do an H2, and if you want to make it even smaller, you can do an H3. But what if I want to make it like bigger than H1? Well, here comes the styling part. So you know, a website, the way that they can get it to look so good is that they are adding styling to it. And because with just normal HTML, that's why you always have to learn CSS as well. Normal HTML, if we for example remove if we remove the styling to it, the website will look like this, and that's not something that you really want. You see now, like right now, nothing is pretty much working, and it's looking basically terrible. It's still working, but it looks terrible. So then we gotta add like a CSS, and to create a CSS or styling, you're gonna go into the same folder, right click it, and go to new, and then text document, and then do style. You should name it style when you're creating like the HTML styling, or I mean the index styling. I name it style, and here it will pop up in the folder. So we've got the index.html. You can see it has these like tags when we, you see it has this like tags, and you do a tag like there, like that. But then to reference something, you can do in 3 ways. You can either just type A. No wait, we don't have an A. You can type P, which stands for the paragraph, or the I don't even know what paragraph mean, but P, and then you'll reference this text. So P, and then you can set the color to red. That won't set the color for some reason. Oh, never mind. I know why it's not setting the color. I should have told you before. So in the head, you also gotta reference it, because it has no way of telling that it should reference this and go like the rules from here. So we should do that by doing a link rel equals style sheet. This is just something that you have to learn. Type text.css and href equals style.css. And as soon as I've done that, you can already see that it's red now. And we can do another font by this. We can do font style or font family monospace. It's the font that I'm using. It is a bit like smaller and a bit more modern. You can have custom fonts, but I'm not gonna go further into that. You gotta have to Google that. But these commands, you will basically have to learn them. And I can really recommend a great website if you want to check out stuff like that. It's We Free Schools. This is a great website if you want to learn HTML. I'm not sponsored by them, but I've just learned like pretty much all of mine, like the commands and stuff. You see, this is all things that you gotta keep in your head. There's nothing mathematical to CSS. Or like you gotta use the pixels and stuff, but you can basically find all the commands here, and it's easy, so I really recommend that. So actually let's start off by doing something, or wait, but what if we do another p tag and we do this, we name it something, and then we have the color here is set to red, but we don't want this to be red, we only want that one to be red. How do we do then? We can do an ID of this, so we can set that ID to something. So instead of referencing all the, or instead of like it's going from the p tag, you can just do hashtag something, which was something I named it to, and you can do color blue. And now you see it. Now you can see it got blue. So if you want to like only change one, I really recommend using IDs, because IDs are more specific, and I used a lot of them. And also, actually, let's now create a bit of a header or a little nav bar for our website. This will get kind of complicated, and I know my way of creating them isn't the best, but I will learn you what I use, and it works. I mean, I don't see why this isn't working. So I mean, it works, and yeah. So we're gonna start off by doing a div, and a div is like a class, or like a div is like, I really know how to explain it. And something got weird here. You see it got, yeah, what is that, pink? But we're gonna create a div class equals nav bar, and then we're gonna close the tab. And you see that I named it navbar so we can reference it, and then we can maybe do inside here, we can have an h1, and we can name this is, so wait, my website, we'll just name it my website. And for some reason this isn't updating, which I think is kind of okay. Let's actually just close that and open it up again and see if the live thing gets better. Okay, there we go. Now it says my website, and then we maybe want, wait, div class equals, and I'm not sure, div class equals items. I'll just name them items. I don't really know what to name them. Really, it's up to you, the naming. And then we're gonna have an A, and an A is a new thing that, yeah. An A is something that you can reference, or like an A is a link, so it's the link that leads to something. So if I'm using my website for reference because I know how it works. So this is an A. This links to, if I click it, it links to my other website, and it can link to anywhere. You see, this is a link. It leads to Steam. So you can link this to anywhere, and the way to link it, or to link it, you can do href, and href equals, so we can actually do like wait, then I may have to copy google.com, and here we go, and there we press, and now type Google. So if I press this link, it will take me to Google, and that's something you gotta learn. And you can then of course reference like other pages inside, so you don't have to reference like another website. So we're gonna just do a hashtag there. We won't do anything. We're gonna have this set as help, and then we're gonna create another one. I'll just copy the whole line. Actually I'll do it like that, and then Control D and Control D, and we will name this to about, maybe contact. And now here comes the styling. So wait, I'm gonna check how big the nav bar is. So in the style.css, you gotta learn, like you gotta try to kind of see how it works, because I'm not sure how to do this in the beginning. But we're gonna do the dot, and then we're gonna have the name, because if it's a class, you always do a dot instead of a hashtag before. So dot items, and then we'll have the A, because we want the A stuff to be, this will be set to, and I always just check if it's working, and it is working. So you see it got red. And then we want this to float to the, we want to float this to the left, actually right. And then no, we don't want that. We want the A to, we just want the A to float to the right. No, actually it says the same. We want them to float to the right. There we go. And then what we do want, we want some padding, and the padding is like how many pixels it will have between them. I will use 20 pixels because I think that looks okay, I guess. 20 pixels looks good. And here we may want to have like the h1. What if we place the h1 here, inside here? Okay, that won't work. Let's have the h1. Oh, wait, what happened? There we go. Let's have the h1 like the header. Here's to position obsolete, and now you can see this isn't like affecting the other. And then we're gonna have the margin to 0, and now you can see it's already looking better. And then we want to have this as a background, or we want to have some kind of nav bar. So on my page you can see it's green behind it. And there is other ways to do it, but this is just a simple way. So yeah, there we go. And then we want to maybe have the font family to monospace, or should we have that? I guess it works for now. And then we want to color the whole background, so we want to get the class of navbar. So we're gonna do dot navbar, and here we will have background color. Wait, I don't think this is working. Oh wait, div class. If we make this an ID, I think it will work. No, actually I know why it doesn't work. We want to change the height to, and the width to 100%, and the height to 2%. I don't think this is. And then if we do the background color blue. Oh, there we go. The height can't be 25. It has to be like 5%. And we don't want a blue background. We of course want something else. We want what is the hashtag f3f3? That's just a gray. Let's actually get another color. So I used to like just search for color picker code, and yeah, and here you can have you can just pick a color that you think looks kind of good. I'm gonna pick purple, or actually you should be really careful about this, because this will then be like the color of your website, so you should pick it more carefully than I do. We're gonna have that as the background, and then the h1 we want that to have a color of white, and here we want to have a margin of 0, padding of 0. Or no, we want the whole body tag actually to have that. So we're gonna go up, and then we're gonna do just body, and this will affect everything that's on the site. So margin 0, and now we can see it gets all the way to the like edges of the website. And then we may want the h1 to have a padding of, let's say, 10 pixels. This gets kind of in the middle. But if you scale it down, we may want to do that in percentage instead. No, that's the wrong one. We may want to do that in percentage. I like to do things in percentages instead. 1%. And now you can see it gets. Never mind. At least Father did. That may because the position is absolute position. Wait, if we can actually do display in line block, will this make anything different? I don't think it will display in line block.